Hello, welcome to another episode of the Inception Closer. This is probably the best YouTube channel that you'll ever come across when it comes to reviewing online courses, specifically Sales Mentor. So I got a message last week from a lady named Caitlin Adams. So this is a bit of a shout out to you. So I'm going to try and explain how the Sales Mentor program works to the best of my capability. So if you are considering purchasing the $97 program, or you've already purchased it, it's not the end of the world. It's a fantastic course, but I felt obligated to share with you a little bit about how it works on the inside so that you can get a better idea. And I bought all the courses, just so you know. So I'm coming at it from the perspective of I spent thousands of dollars on Sales Mentor. So I bought everything. Private coaching. I bought the certification, became an certified inbound closer. I bought the Done For You, the Facebook advertising program that they had as well, everything. So this is basically, again, this is for people that are considering becoming an inbound closer, what it takes. So, and you may or may not know that I was mentored by Matt Ryder from the Sales Sniper, Jeremy Miner, and Marco Cortese. So that is a bit of my background experience. I used to be a sales sniper, and now I do my own thing. So how it typically works is you see an ad on YouTube that's usually it's with Peyton saying that you can actually make $980 checks every single week like he does. And he quit his job selling t-shirts, and then he decided to work with his brother Taylor Welch, with Evans and Taylor, and he couldn't, Peyton couldn't get a job with Taylor because Taylor wouldn't hire him. So Peyton went around behind Taylor's back and decided to get hired on through a different portal, basically. So then obviously Taylor found out that his brother was actually working with them, and he fired him a couple of times because he was too aggressive on the phone. And I've heard this common theme that basically the whole traffic and funnel Sales Mentor program, they basically teach you tactics to bulldoze their way. You basically can't say no over the phone. Like, it's very difficult, very difficult. If you want to find out how difficult it is, just for funs, just for kicks and giggles, buy the $97 program, click on the free coaching button. I promise you, you're not going to be able to say no. I promise you. I'll even bet you $97 that you're going to have a very difficult time saying no, because they're very good. And that part is admirable, that there is a skill set out there that you can use to be able to get people that are even thinking of saying no in their head, and you get them into a buying state that they're basically saying no against themselves. And that is a difficult thing to do. Once you're on the inside, it's very difficult to say no, because then you feel like you're letting yourself down. You don't feel like you're letting anyone else down. And I share a little bit more about that in one of my videos. It's day 150, I believe, and I got it's over 10,000 views. Like, I get hundreds and hundreds of comments asking questions about the Sales Mentor. So that's why I'm trying to explain this and be as thorough as possible in this video. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. It actually helps me build my channel. If you want to know how to create your own product or service to sell, then check out my website, authorityattracts.com, and basically I just teach you how to use your life experience, package it up into your own product or service, use YouTube to get people to go to your website, and then goes down that little funnel. So there you go. So check that out anytime. I'll also put the link to my website as well. But okay, so you buy the course. It's 97 bucks. There's about 40 some hours of content. Like I said, it's second to none. If you want to learn the whole sales game, this is great. It's all you need, really. The next thing that you would need is you need to actually have volume at the end of the day. Like you need to be comfortable getting on the phone. And more importantly, you need to be comfortable doing cold calls. I know it sounds weird. They say that's not what you do, but you have to. At the very beginning, you have to be comfortable doing cold calling. I wasn't very comfortable when I was with Sales Sniper for a few weeks. I had to make hundreds of calls, cold calling customers that had no idea about the company that I was selling for. They didn't remember the name. They had no idea who the company owner was. Nothing. Zero. So I had to do that, and I used an Excel spreadsheet. I had to buy a US number, and it was painful. Very painful. Cold calling is painful. So you have to get good at that, whether you like it or not. So 97. Then there is the certification program, which is $2,000. I bought that one. And you go through another series of videos. And believe me, this takes more than 21 days. So the idea that you're going to get a $980 paycheck within 21 days, brand new, even if you have a little bit of sales experience. I had a ton of sales experience. I was a life insurance agent. I sold energy contracts for 5 years, door to door. That's all I did. I was recruiting for engineers. I sold coffee because coffee is for closers for 2 years. So I had a boatload of experience. But for some of these companies, it's still not good enough. And I'll explain why a little bit later. But, okay, so you bought the 97, you bought the $2,000 certification. What does that get you? The idea behind the certification is you get introduced to all of their clients that are looking for inbound closers. And you have to really sit down and think about this one for a second. You have a company that's making hundreds of thousands of dollars every single month, and they're basically making it from people that are coming into the program wanting to know how to become an inbound closer. So that's where their bread and butter is bringing people in. And they have their own sales team. They call them coaches. They call them students. But they're not students. They're actually their sales team. So whenever you see a video with Peyton saying, "These are my students," they're not. They're the sales team. And they work out of Texas. So they're in a boiler room setting. They all stand at their computers, standing up like this at their computer. I promise you, for 8 hours a day, Monday to Friday. And they're standing there because they got to have the energy, the right energy to be able to be in this state of mind that they're not getting off the phone until you buy or die, basically, at the end of the day. This is, I bought their private coaching, and it was over $8,800 US. And I got to basically listen in on their boardroom meetings. You're like a fly on the wall. You can interact with everyone. But you also are in the Facebook group as well. And anytime their salespeople have problems, they would discuss those problems in these boardroom type settings. And I got to listen in, and I took a lot of notes. So I know what's going on the inside from various multi-million-dollar companies. All right, so that's the feedback you're getting. You're getting this from someone that's from the inside, okay? So you got the certification. It's basically a handshake deal where here is a spreadsheet of business owners that are looking for closers. That part is true. You're going to get that spreadsheet. But what they don't tell you is that spreadsheet has been hammered to death. Imagine having 100 people on a database, on an Excel spreadsheet that you get access to. And imagine thousands of other people getting access to those same 100 people. Do you think those business owners are going to be happy that you called them? Or do you think they're going to actually disconnect their phone line and start a new business because there's thousands of little birdies coming out of the Sales Mentor program and they're calling them up, hey, I'm an inbound closer. And by the way, that is the worst thing that you could say. If you're on LinkedIn or anything else, you got to kind of take that messaging off. I call this channel the Inception Closer, and it's actually, in some circles, the word closer is a bit of a joke. It's an inside joke for people that are newbies, all right? It's a sales position. It's like telemarketing. It's a sales position. You have to be good at being on the phone. You have to be good at being on a Zoom call. So you have to be very professional, but there's a joke, I'm telling you, it's spread like gangrene that closers are losers. Like, really. So, if you approach anyone and you tell them you're a closer, they're going to laugh at you. I'm serious, they're going to laugh at you. So that's one thing. So now you got your certification, you're all happy, and the first thing I did was you're in the Facebook group and you meet with all the other people that are in there, and they're all like little birdies looking around Facebook group. How does this work? How does this work? And then in one of the meetings that I was eavesdropping in, some of the sales guys were having trouble with their volume. And the rule is, it's an unwritten rule, that if you're closing less than 20%, you're probably going to be on the chopping block. You're going to be punted. So you need to up your game. So one of the sales guys was like, man, what do I do when people ghost on me? If I have an appointment, and these are their sales guys, okay? This is inside Sales Mentor. These are their sales people saying this. What happens if my appointment ghosts on me? Because the idea, remember, in the video ads is you get people coming to you, no more cold calling. You don't have to call anybody anymore. You just sit there and you're an order taker. I love the idea, believe me, of being an order taker. I love that idea. I think most people love the idea of just sitting there and, oh, my phone's buzzing. Hang on one sec, I got to take this call. And then you close them. People love that. It is a sexy idea. I'm telling you, it's sexy. Right, so the sales guys are asking, they're like, hey, like, what do I do when people ghost? I believe it was either Taylor or Peyton or Josh. One of the guys said, well, you have them all on Facebook, right? Because they're all automatically accepted into the private Facebook group. Glean them. Just go back into Facebook group and ask them who here makes less than $10,000 a month, which is 90% of North America. Just tossing that out. But let's say it's 95, 99% of the people that are in this Facebook group. Who here makes less than 10 grand? Who wants to make more than 10 grand? Put your hand up. Message me. Hashtag 10K, whatever. And then what those people would do is reach out to those people on Facebook, the ones that have paid the $97, the ones that have paid the $2,000. I know, because I was in the private coaching group. I just finished dishing out like 8,800 US, and this is a private Facebook group. And one of their sales guys jumps on there and says, who wants to make more than 10K? I'm like, dude, I just spent about 10K Canadian. on your program and you're asking me to invest more money. Like, so there's a bit of like it's crazy. It's craziness. It's pure craziness. And I get it. Like the marketing thing is all pure genius, but they're basically bringing in newbies, and that's their business. So you got the owners that are tired of taking phone calls from newbies, so that doesn't work. Reaching out to LinkedIn, Facebook owners, all this kind of stuff. Even if you say I'll do it for free, they don't want you to do it for free. One, they don't want to take advantage of you that way. But you need experience. You honestly need to have experience selling $2,000 or more or higher products for them to even give you a sniff. That's right, a sniff. For you to get their attention, you have to close high ticket programs. And the same thing is happening with Dan Locke's high ticket closer program. The birdies are all falling out of the plane and they got no wings and they're just dropping. It's almost like WKRP in Cincinnati with Herb, where they basically, during Thanksgiving, they decided that this would be a great idea. Let's take some turkeys and drop them out of a helicopter and it'll be fun. And there just happened to be like, I think there was like a playground full of kids with parents and all this stuff, and they dropped all these turkeys out of the helicopter and they fell to their death, all the turkeys, because Herb didn't realize that turkeys don't fly. So that's what that is what is happening inside Sales Mentor, where the turkeys are being dropped out of the helicopter and they're fluttering and they're all splatting on the ground, kicking and twitching and everything like that. This is what's happening right now. So I decided to talk about this, because if you're paying your hard-earned money because you want to make 10 grand, 15 grand, 20,000, $60,000, I'm here to tell you that it's very difficult, and the way to do that is if you take ownership. If you become a salesperson and you have ownership, you take a piece of the pie. That's the only way that you're going to make 100 grand a month. You need to be part of an ownership of a company. Nobody's ever argued with me on the majority of my videos. The only time I get a thumbs down is somebody saying, you're an idiot for buying these courses. That's really, or I speak too slow, or whatever it is, get to the point, all this kind of stuff. Those are the negative comments that I get, but I don't get anybody saying, Shane, you're full of shit. I don't get that. I get a lot of, yeah, you're a nice guy and all this stuff and blah, 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 whatever. I'm just trying to help you out, okay? And now, yes, I do my own thing. I sell my own stuff, and I encourage you, I implore you to do your own thing, to become an owner. If you don't know how to do that, then check out my website. I share my story, basically from a wee little birdie all the way up to where I am now and why I became an online marketer. And you can check out my story, and this is what you should be doing as well. You should be able to figure out a way to extract your life experience, all those horrendous experiences that you've had as a child and a young adult, an adult, could be in the workforce, whatever. Extract that information and turn it into a product or a service, because you're sharing it from your own perspective. And when you share it from your own perspective, you become authentic. And when you become authentic, you start building up your authority, and nobody can take that authority away from you. Teachers, principals, your boss, nobody can take that away from you. And once you start building authority, you can start charging because of that authority. You can charge what you want. And because people see that you're comfortable in your own skin, you're comfortable sharing your story, you're comfortable being vulnerable, they themselves can be a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more vulnerable, share with you where they're at, and they know that you're not coming across as you're just going to try and pillage them for all their money. So there you go. So it's authorityattracts.com. Go check it out. I hope this, Caitlin, I hope this helps you understand how it works a bit. You get a commission if you are a inbound closer. You get a commission. Usually, it's anywhere from 5% to 30%. Realistically, it's about 10%. So they will book calls for you. The calls go to their web page, their registration page, and then you book them on your calendar. They have calendar software. They have CRM software, all kinds of stuff. What's the name of it? Close.io is what I believe Sales Sniper uses. Close.io is also what Sales Mentor uses. Traffic and Funnels. Other companies use HubSpot. That's a whole nother video series. So you got to get good at so many things. It's unbelievable. You have to be good at everything. And for me, I'm like rolling back a bit and going, okay, what is the most important thing that you as a human being could do right now? And that is get good at marketing, period. Get good at online marketing. Get good at making your own YouTube videos. These are pretty raw. There's no fancy edits and stuff. But if you want to be a salesperson, you have to be comfortable in front of the video camera. And it's taken me hundreds of videos to get to the point where I'm actually comfortable and I don't care what people think and all this kind of stuff. It takes a while because there's a lot of times where I'll make a video and then I'll delete it because I'm like, man, that sucks or whatever it is. So pretty hard on myself as well. But I keep thinking about the thousands of people. Like I said, I have one video that has like 10 to 15,000 views on it. So I'm thinking about those people, what they're going through. I don't know what their life is like at this point to be able to look at a YouTube ad and go, man, I need to make 10 grand this month or I'm done. I'm finished. And I've been there. So I hope this video has enlightened you. I hope it's not depressing because it's not. There are people that are making decent income, decent money, but it's far and few between. What I would do again, if I did it again, I would just do the 97 and I would reach out to companies, organizations, and I would come at it from a perspective of you want to be an appointment setter at the very beginning. It is what it is. Or you create your own stuff. Like there's no in between. Because that's the only way that you're going to get good is you got to be comfortable cold calling people. At the end of the day, that stuff hasn't gone away. I just hate it. I hate cold calling. I think there's better ways of getting a hold of people than wasting their time on the phone by calling them. You know, they might be in the middle of a meeting and all of a sudden you call them up and they're busy. It's weird, right? So like the way I have things set up is people go to my website, they look at my story. I have a free ebook, a lead magnet. If they like my story, they can leave their name and email address. It takes them to the next page where I have a little mini video course. It's not very expensive at all. And I also, they can download that ebook for free. And there's a little video course that kind of teaches them how to package everything together. And then also I have a booking link where you can get on the phone with me for 30 minutes. We chit chat about where you're at. And believe me, I know what it's like to be on the other end of a high pressure salesperson. I'm not that guy, okay? But I will tell you, there is an upsell at the end of the 30 minutes, but you don't have to take it. You can have enough information that you can walk away and do your own thing. But if you need my help, that's when we can talk about how it works and all this kind of stuff. It's very, very low key, very low key. And I don't have multiple products to sell you. Okay, here's 2 grand. Okay, here's 4 grand. Here's 8 grand. Here's 10 grand. Here's 20 grand. Here's 50 grand. No, I basically have one product. That's it. So there you go. Hopefully this has helped you out. And what I would also like to do in the next week or so is maybe on a Thursday night is do a Zoom call. So if you're interested in that, hashtag Zoom, real simple. And then that lets me know that there's enough interest for me to do a Zoom call on this very topic. And I can, again, roll back the curtain, let you guys know what's going on and all this kind of stuff, especially if you're interested in buying online sales courses, all that good stuff. All right, thanks a lot. Hope you enjoyed this video. I kind of rambled a little bit, apologize for that, but hopefully you got some good stuff, some good information, and I wish you all the best. See you later.